welcome tonight to the dual degree webinar. So again, just really going to talk to you a bit about the dual degree programs that we have to offer here at Seton Hall. Several different dual degree programs for Stillman students and non-Stillman students as well. So again, just really welcome. Appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. Won't be too long of a presentation here. Have some slides to get through and really just to kind of give you the gist of what you can expect in a dual degree program. So firstly, just to get into some introductions, my name is Greg Davis. I'm the director of graduate accounting. I'm director, Joyce has accounting in my head. I'm the director of graduate admissions here at Seton Hall University. So you may have gotten some emails from me. You may have gotten some phone calls from me, texts from me. So essentially, recruitment and enrollment for all of our graduate admissions programs here at Seton Hall. And with that, I'll pass it over. I'll let Wesley introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. I am Wesley Pash, and I'm the Associate Dean of Academics and Partnerships here in the School of Business.
Thank you, Wesley. And of course, Dean Strausser to introduce herself and tell a little bit about, in her own words, the benefits of a 5-year dual degree program here at Seton Hall.
Thanks, Greg. And Wesley, you failed to mention that you're also a faculty member in the Department of Economics and Legal Studies, and that you will be teaching an economics course in the spring.
I will. Yes, that is true.
Okay. All right. My name is Joyce Strausser, currently serving as dean of the school, but also a faculty member in the Department of Accounting and Taxation. So I still don't see any accounting students, but that's okay. Not even a second major in accounting. On an event like this where we're promoting the school, I would typically be wearing blue. So I feel a little strange not wearing blue, but wearing a very bright kind of maroon color. So apologies for that. But, I figured you all are Seton Hall students. You already know our school colors. I don't need to brand for you. But we're really happy to spend some time with you tonight. And Greg mentioned we've got some slides to go through, but we also would really love to hear your questions. So please feel free to either, unmute, put your virtual hand up, or just type something in the chat, because we'd love to give you more information about what you'd like to know. Greg did ask me, though, to talk a little bit about what I see as the benefits of a dual degree program. And, I think there are a few. First is cost savings, and that's a big one. So and it depends on the program, and it depends on when you start. So the rule here is the sooner the better, because for any of these dual degree programs that we're going to be talking about, you are able to include up to 9 credits of this graduate business coursework in your undergraduate flat tuition. So if you start this program and you have the capacity to take 9 credits of graduate business coursework, that would be included in the price that you pay for your semester's tuition. Okay, so that's one. Time. That gets you closer to your goal of having a graduate degree more quickly. So if you start while you're a senior, you will be finishing your graduate program in a much shorter period of time. If you are also a Seton Hall student, and particularly more, I guess, for Stillman, but also for students outside of the Stillman School, there are some prerequisites that you wouldn't have to take because you've already completed similar coursework. So you have that advantage relative to somebody who would be going into a different program or coming to Seton Hall from a different university. So that's a big benefit. And then I will tell you that I don't know how many are interested in the MBA program, but there are even more savings to be had if you do an MBA with us, because instead of doing the 40 credit program, if you're a Stillman undergrad, we would waive 10 credits for you, and you could earn your MBA degree by taking only 30 credits. So picture that, 30 credits, 9 of which may be counted as part of your undergrad tuition. You may earn that degree with only 21 incremental credits. So that's my brief summary. One other thing I would say, not having to do with cost, not having to do with time, but just the fact that you already know Seton Hall, Stillman, so you know what we're about. You know the value we place on our community, on developing principled business leaders, so you know what you're getting. And we would love to have you continue with us. We've had great successes with a number of students who've stayed with us to do their graduate studies, and we'd love to have any of you. So with that, Greg, let me turn it back over to you. But of course, I'll be chiming in later as we move along.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dean Strauser. And as I did mention, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. Either myself, Dean Strauser, or Dean Pesh can answer those questions. Okay, so really kind of the types of dual degree programs that we do offer here. So you'll see that first one, BSB, or BABA as we call it, with the MBA program. So that's any Stillman student, any business student interested in the MBA program, which we'll talk about. As Dean Strauser mentioned, 10 of those credits are automatically waived for you, making the program 30 credits instead of 40 credits. And then we have our BA or BS with the MBA program, and this is for students in the College of Arts and Sciences. I know that we had a student on here with a chemistry major. So for these students, we also have that benefit of being able to take some graduate level courses while you're still in your undergraduate year, specifically 9 graduate credits that can count towards your undergraduate flat tuition rate, which I'll talk about a little bit as well. Then we have the BS, MS in professional accounting, as well as the BS, MS in professional accounting and analytics, which is another program, fairly new, that gives students not just the accounting knowledge, but also that kind of knowledge of analytics as well. And that's really for students, undergraduate accounting majors that want to sit for the CPA exam, satisfy their 150 credits to become a certified public accountant in states of New York, New Jersey, and others. And then we have also for Stillman students our BSB or BABA with the MS in business analytics. And of course, business analytics being a hot topic right now in terms of the fields of analytics, and really kind of understanding how to use analytics and certain technology tools in solving business practices. So specifically within the Master of Business Administration, there is 8 concentrations. So in the MBA program, there's 8 concentrations. If any of you have already applied or are possibly in the process of submitting an application, you'll see on your application that there are several options that you can choose from. So these are what we call concentrations or specializations. So you'll see the 8 here: accounting, finance, information technology management, business analytics, management, marketing, sports management, and supply chain management. So what's nice about this is you kind of have the option to choose. We typically, especially for Stillman undergraduate students, and you'll hear this when you speak to our call him the advisor for the MBA program, our associate dean, Mark Schild. But you'll hear when you most likely speak to him or any of us that we usually do encourage undergraduate students, undergraduate business students with a certain concentration to really try to choose a different concentration within the MBA program, right? So if you're a double finance management major, a finance marketing major, or even an accounting major, although we don't have any on this call, I don't think, but if you are, then we normally encourage you to maybe try something else. Maybe you do an MBA in business analytics, an MBA in information technology management, supply chain management, sports management, maybe just something a little bit different from your undergrad to really just kind of set you apart, and also when you kind of have your resume all sorted out and your resume is in front of a hiring manager, really kind of seeing that you have that focus area in many different concentrations, and you kind of have that knowledge and that expertise in different areas can really kind of give you a leg up. So within the Masters of Business and Administration, we have 3 STEM designated concentrations. So STEM being, of course, science, technology, engineering, and math. And these STEM designated concentrations are business analytics, information technology management, and supply chain management. And really kind of what I think differentiates these as their STEM designated concentrations is the importance of that STEM designation is really kind of the I would say the area that STEM is taking up now, and also the future of STEM careers. So I would say that really kind of honing in on these skills kind of gives you that that knowledge of the technology and the tools and the different programs that you'll be learning in these three programs, but really kind of using them to solve sort of business problems. So, we do have some students that, for example, sport management undergraduate students that, want to get into, have an interest in some sort of sports analytics. So, they might be a sports management undergraduate major and do an MBA in business analytics, right? Just to kind of get that, really that taste of analytics and then have that under their belt as well.
Greg, if I might just
Yeah,
interject.
please.
If you happen to be an international student too, the STEM designation is particularly relevant because what that can do is that gives you an extension of the period of time that you can stay in the United States using your OPT option, your occupational professional training option. So that's a very popular, STEM designated programs are very popular with international students because of that opportunity it gives you to extend your working career in the US.
Great. Yes. Thank you so much, Joyce. And Joyce and Wesley, feel free to interject at any point. It's team effort, so I definitely do not mind. So taking in the MBA at a glance here, just to kind of give you a sense, and we actually have a grid sheet on the next on a slide coming up that will show you exactly some of those courses. But MBA at a glance here is 30 credits. Again, for Stillman undergraduate students, we waive 10 of those credits. So our MBA program typically is a 40 credit program. For business students, we waive 10 of those credits. Now, for non-business students, we do not waive those 10 credits. So it will be a 40 credit program and it'll be 17 classes because essentially 5 of those 2 credit classes, which I'll talk about, you'll still be required to take. However, again, large benefit as well is that once you reach that 90 credit mark, which I'll talk about in the admissions requirements, but once you reach that 90 credit mark, essentially a senior, you're able to take up to 9 credits while you're still in your undergraduate year. So definitely still benefits you as well. But the MBA program, you'll see the 30 credit program, it's 15 credits of core coursework, and then it will be 15 credits of electives. I mentioned that I went through the concentration, so you'll kind of have those concentrations there to choose from. Those 15 credits of electives, that's essentially your concentration, right? So of those concentrations, essentially 4 of those 5 classes, being that it's 15 credits, so 12 of those 15 credits will be specific to your concentration, and then your last 3 credit elective will kind of be enough. We kind of call it a free elective, so you're able to choose, possibly even if you are, let's say, a business analytics concentration, but you want to take one class in sports management, you kind of have that opportunity with that free elective. The only course that requires all 5 of those, or a concentration that requires all 5 of those electives, all 5 of those courses to be in your concentration is accounting, right? So just keep that in mind. And then in terms of the courses, and this will be a little bit better to see once I have the grid sheet up, but the core courses they work a little bit differently than your courses right now. So most of your courses right now, imagine, are 3 credit courses that span the whole semester. So our core credit classes are actually 7-week courses, and there will be 6 terms a year. So the 7-week courses, as opposed to a full 14-week semester, these 7-week courses fall in a spring A or a spring B term, or a fall A or a fall B term, or a summer 1 and a summer 2 term. So it's essentially half the semester. So you're able to kind of, I would say, especially with the core courses, lump in a large amount of those courses, in one semester, because you'll be taking some classes in the A term and then some classes in the B term. And the reason being is because these courses are 2 credits. So as opposed to the probably what you're used to, the 3 credit classes, these are 2 credit classes, in which case they'll only kind of last half the semester. And these courses are really kind of, I would say, our MBA program is really, at time, I would say it's flexible. It's definitely meant to give students the time during the day to do what they want. So possibly maybe you have an internship, or possibly even once you graduate, maybe you'll have a full-time job. Hopefully that's the goal, right? So so all of our courses are at night. So it is meant, if you are going to be a working professional, or you just kind of have something else that you're doing during the day. So all of these classes are once a week, and they're going to be anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 hours, either in person here or hybrid online. So I will point out that our MBA program as a whole is what we consider a hybrid program. So there are going to be in-person courses and online courses. So in terms of a little bit of the curriculum structure here, and starting with the launch experience, which is a course that all students would have to take, whether you're a Stillman student or a non-Stillman student. And the launch experience essentially is really what we consider the introductory course to the MBA program. So really kind of serves as an introduction and really kind of lays the foundation for the learning experience that you'll have throughout your journey. And what it is it kind of starts off with an in-person intensive weekend experience. And this semester, for the spring semester, that's actually going to fall on Saturday, January 27th. Saturday, January 27th and Sunday, January 28th. And what it is, and normally on the first day kind of focuses on the networking and meeting other people in the program, other people that are starting the program. This isn't a course that you necessarily have to take during your very first semester, but it's one that is definitely a good one to take, as it is kind of serves as that introductory course. And it will basically start on that Saturday. You'll have sort of like that networking experience. We normally either meet up at a restaurant or an alum's house to kind of just have a little get together. And then Sunday is really kind of an all-day learning experience where you're going to focus on a spotlight company. And if it's okay with Joyce, I think I can share what the spotlight company is for this upcoming term.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So so this term we're going to be, the spotlight company is going to be Skechers. So and I can say
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was reading the email. So the spotlight company this spring semester is going to be Skechers. So as a 90s baby, I can say it makes me very happy. Still remember those commercials pretty well. So and really kind of what it is you're going to kind of spend the day completing an analysis of Skechers' competitive environment, their product service portfolio, followed by a presentation of their findings, which will include future recommended steps. So really kind of understanding really kind of the broad portfolio of that spotlight company. And then, as I mentioned, you're going to have your elective or your concentration courses, and that will wrap up with a business consulting capstone with a real client engagement. And this here, if you can see it, I know it's a little blurry. I tried to format this onto the screen, but essentially this kind of gives you an idea of the types of courses that you'll take. So you'll see it at that very top there, the foundation sequence. So you'll see that all of our MBA core courses will have that BMBA in front of it. So that's how you'll know what's an MBA core course. And these essentially 6 courses, including the launch experience, is really going to be your core courses for Stillman MBA students. Now, for non-Stillman students, you're going to have 5 more of these core courses to complete. But again, being that they are, those 2 credit courses, have the opportunity to complete these courses in both terms in a semester. So keep that in mind. And then you'll have your specialization credit. So anybody that's admitted into the program, this is you'll receive some sort of grid sheet like this that really kind of outlines the courses that you'll need to take. Those specialization credits you'll see there rounds out to those 15 credits, and then you'll see the specializations there. So either 4 or 5 of those courses will be in your specialization. You'll round it out with the BMBA 9461 business capstone, and then other degree requirements include an MBA service project, which you'll work with one of our faculty members with, and then an assessment and exit interview. So, for any students, any undergraduate accounting students, the MS in professional accounting, we call that the MSPA. So that's a 5th-year program for undergraduate accounting majors. So specifically meant for accounting majors that want to satisfy those 150 credits to sit for the CPA exam that will qualify you as a CPA in states like New York, New Jersey, and many other states. But essentially, it's a 30-credit program. You'll see it here, 10 classes. So this format goes back to your general 3 credit classes. So 10 classes for 30 credits. You'll see it's here 15 credits of accounting, either accounting, tax, or analytics courses, 9 credits of accounting or taxation electives, and 6 credits of business electives. And again, at the bottom there, you'll see it's there 3 terms per year, 3 credit classes, and also offered in a hybrid format. And then our newest program is our Master of Science in Professional Accounting and Analytics. Again, this program meant for undergraduate accounting majors, as it is similar to the MS in Professional Accounting, but this one has a focus here on analytics. So you'll see the 12 credits of data analytics courses in this program, and again, really just the importance of whether it's STEM designated programs, analytics. I would say the Master of Science in Professional Accounting and Analytics is a STEM designated program. So Dean Strausser mentioned the benefit for international students for STEM designated programs, and for any accounting majors, this might be the program for you. So the Master of Science in Business Analytics is our last program that can be offered for our Stillman students. This again is a 30 credit program, and this is I wouldn't say one of our newer programs as well, a few years in now, but yeah, you'll see here that our program has been shaped by an advisory board comprised of high-level executives from Amazon, TD Bank, KPMG, and other industry-leading companies. In terms of the importance of analytics in the hiring process, you'll see here 80% of Fortune Global 100 companies reported that they tend to hire MS and data analytics talent. So definitely saw the need and found an opportunity to, I would say, provide this program to our seniors in the Stillman School of Business, to really kind of provide them that opportunity to take some of these courses while they're still in their senior year as well. So just really kind of getting into the admissions process and advice. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to type those in the chat. I'm in the presentation mode, so I can't see anybody on the screen right now, but feel free to type those questions in the chat. So in terms of application requirements, so some of you on this call, you may have already submitted an application. Perhaps you were accepted into the program. If so, congratulations. Definitely register if you have not registered for graduate courses. But if not, this is generally the application requirement. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy. The online application form, and I'll provide the link in a later slide. Essentially, it's our graduate application that you'll fill out. You'll just log in using an email address, whether it's your SHU email address or your personal email address, and you'll go in and you'll answer some personal questions about yourself, any sort of work history that you do have. We do not require work history. Obviously, we understand that most of you will be juniors and seniors. If you do have any internship experience, that certainly helps, but not required. So you'll go into that online application, kind of go through those steps. One of the things you'll get to is the personal statement. So just in 250 to 500 words, really just explaining, why you want to be a part of the program, what necessarily you'll bring to the program, what you like about Seton Hall, maybe explaining a little bit of your journey. I always love to hear things about what you're involved with, whether it's on campus or off campus. If you're involved in any clubs, organizations, those are certain things that can really kind of help me to understand what you want to do with an MBA and kind of your goals afterwards. Your most up-to-date resume. So again, any sort of internship, employment experience that you do have, skills, anything that you think would be relevant to add on that resume, please do. And a letter of recommendation. So we only require one letter of recommendation. You can certainly submit more than one if you would like, but we only do require one. And this letter of recommendation can come from a professor, although it does not have to. It can come from either a current supervisor or a former supervisor. So up to you in terms of who you want that letter of recommendation to come from. And then what's not listed here is official transcripts, and I don't list that because you were all Seton Hall students. You're going to reach a point in that application where it's going to ask you to request your official transcript. You don't need to do that, as you are Seton Hall students. I can access that transcript on our end, and then I will just add that to your application manually, so nothing you have to worry about there. I would say, honestly speaking, the application can take probably no more than 15, 20 minutes, obviously, depending on if you have a personal statement ready and all of that. You don't have to have a letter of recommendation letter submitted in order for you to submit your application. How that works is you will just enter somebody's name, their contact information, and their email address, and they will get an automated email and they'll be able to submit that letter of recommendation when they're ready. So you can go on and to continue the application and submit your application. And as soon as we get that letter of recommendation, your application will be reviewed. So in terms of the admissions requirements, so the admission requirements, so generally speaking, you know, we always encourage students, and I know that we'll have maybe some juniors on this call, some seniors, maybe even some sophomores, but possibly freshmen if you're getting a head start. But how we usually advise students is to apply for the program once you're anywhere between about 60 to 75 credits. That's when you would apply for the program. You do have to have completed 90 credits before you can start actually taking graduate courses. So, you know, if, for example, I was reading an application today, the student had 82 credits completed, but they were taking, you know, 15 credits this fall semester, and they were applying for spring of 24. So I know that, you know, after this fall 23 semester, they'll have above 90 credits, so they can start taking graduate courses in spring of 24. So I would say whenever it is that you're going to hit that 90 credits, if you're at 90 credits right now, or you're going to be at 90 credits at the end of this fall semester, definitely encourage you to submit an application for the spring 24 semester. I always encourage students to submit an application, get that in early, and also get that in for the semester that you're going to surpass those 90 credits, just because, you know, even if you have to possibly defer your application to the fall 24 semester. Let's say you apply for spring 24 and then you're like, oh, actually, you know, I have some more undergraduate credits I want to take. I'm going to hit that 18 credit mark, which is obviously the max that you can have per semester. And you're like, actually, I want to, you know, start taking a graduate level course in fall 24. That's completely fine. We can simply defer your application to fall 24. You don't have to submit another application. It's a very easy step on our end, but I always encourage students to apply for the semester that you're going to have completed 90 credits, as it's definitely possible to start taking a graduate level course there. So with that being said, you'll see that students must meet all the requirements for admission to the MBA program, including meeting or exceeding one of the following criteria. So either you're obtained a cumulative college GPA of 3.4 or higher. So I'd say if you have 90 credits completed, you have above a 3.4, essentially, I would say you're pretty guaranteed admission into the program, right? If you don't have a 3.4, then we would need your GMAT or a GRE exam. So you'll see here another option. You'll see that big or there. So it's either you obtained a cumulative GPA of 3.4 or higher, or you scored within the 50th percentile, which is around a 570 or higher on any graduate level standardized test. That 570 would be the that score on the GMAT exam. Some students choose to take the GRE exam as well. We have those equivalent scores. So if you are taking the GRE, you just simply let me know. Or let's just say if you have obtained a 3.0 or higher. So if you don't have that 3.4, let's say you have a 3.1 or a 3.2 or even a 3.3. So if you're above that 3.0 mark and you have a score in the 30th percentile, which is around a 500 on the GMAT, that can grant you admission. So essentially, if you have above a 3.0 GPA and a score in the 30th percentile, you can get in. If you do receive a score in the 50th percentile, that can essentially guarantee you admission as well. So really just kind of depends on your GPA and your standardized test scores. But that's what we'd say is the criteria for students to meet. All right, so the fun stuff here, getting into the graduate business tuition and fees. So as Dean Strauser mentioned, one of the benefits of the program is that you are able to save a large chunk of money, especially if you are able to fit some of those graduate courses in your undergraduate coursework. So, you know, example being, for let's use a Stillman undergraduate student. First benefit, you get 40 credits waived. So essentially the program becomes 40 credits to 30 credits. So we waive 10 credits. You'll see that tuition cost per credit is just over $1,400, about $1,400 per credit. So 10 credits of those waived right there saves you around $14,000, right? So then you will have the 9 graduate credits that you can take at the undergraduate flat tuition rate, right? So for some students, if it works out in the most ideal situation, you get those 10 credits waived, you fit 9 of those graduate credits in your undergraduate flat tuition. And then once you graduate, you're essentially paying for and taking 21 graduate credits. So went from a 40 credit program to now paying for a 21 credit program. So, and again, for any non-Stillman students, essentially taking advantage of those 9 graduate credits while you're still in undergrad can certainly help as well. Just in terms of part-time versus full-time, what we consider a part-time student is someone that's taking 8 credits or less. Full-time student, someone that's taking over 9 credits. So in terms of financial aid, and this is something that I definitely want to touch on because we do have financial aid options for students. So for one, as I did mention, but I'll mention it again, if you are able to fit those 9 graduate credits in your undergraduate coursework, any sort of financial aid or scholarships that you're receiving at the undergraduate level would apply to these 9 graduate credits. So definitely keep that in mind. That's why I always encourage students, if they can, to really start taking some of those graduate credits while they're still in undergrad, once they're over those 90 credits, just because it can save you some money there. Of course, we have a graduate financial aid website. I think all of you are pretty familiar with the FAFSA. Now, I would say the FAFSA definitely worth submitting. There are certain scholarships, endowed scholarships that we have that would apply to you if you do qualify for financial needs. So, whether you think that you'd be receiving much from a FAFSA or not, it's always worth it to submit one, because we do have scholarships that we can provide for students that have a FAFSA and demonstrate that financial need. Now, in terms of scholarships, we do have scholarships at the graduate level. I would say they're not as large as the scholarships at the undergraduate level, but we certainly have scholarships at the graduate level. I would say they can range anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 for the entirety of the program. So that's certainly something to take advantage of. In terms of the scholarships, that's a process that we do after you've received your acceptance letter. There's no sort of extra application that you need to fill out for a scholarship. And basically what we'll do is we'll look at, let's say the top 10, 15, 20% of students and grant them a scholarship based on what we receive in their application. So based on your letter of recommendation, your personal statement, your resume, any types of experience that you do have, of course, your grades, right? So we're looking at a variety of different factors. If you do receive a scholarship, you'll be notified via email. And then the last opportunity for financial aid that I want to mention is graduate assistantships. So graduate assistantship is a job here on campus. It's a part-time job. It's usually about 15 to 20 hours per week. It does require an interview and a separate application. However, if you do receive a graduate assistantship, that can save you a huge amount of money, because basically in return for your work of 15 to 20 hours per week, what you'll get is tuition remission in the amount of 9 credits. So essentially a graduate assistantship would pay for up to 9 credits per semester, at least at the Stillman School of Business. There are graduate assistantships in other departments as well, but we do offer graduate assistantships in the Stillman School of Business that can pay for up to 9 credits per semester. Now, for most students that are attending courses, that are attending graduate school full-time, I would say that a full-time student is someone that's taking anywhere between 9 to 12 credits or so. Certainly there are some students that are taking maybe 15 credits, but regardless, student that's taking at least 9 credits. And I would say about 12 credits is a pretty full course load. So a graduate assistantship can pay for up to 9 of those credits, and that's a huge savings that you can have. So there is a graduate assistantship application on our jobs website. I can certainly send that information to you. I normally reach out to students once they're accepted. Just keep in mind as well, for a graduate assistantship, you have to be a full-time graduate student, meaning that you cannot be taking undergraduate courses. So for any students, that are considering a graduate assistantship, you can only be considered for a graduate assistantship once you finish your undergraduate coursework. Once you graduate and you're solely taking graduate assistantships, you're solely taking graduate courses. Because essentially that will have a student, we have like our 5-year students, and maybe they graduate undergrad and they have a year left to complete. And we do have some graduate assistantships in our 5-year program that are now solely taking graduate courses, and they've been hired for a graduate assistantship for a year, for 2 semesters. All right, and then this is the general application. Again, I'll follow up with each of you here via email. I will send you this code. I will also send you the fee waiver code. So if you don't get a chance to jot that down now, that's not a problem. But I would recommend, again, all students to go in and submit an application. Even if you want to start an application or submit an application for the fall 24 semester, I would say that we are receiving those applications. That application is open, and I'm likely going to start reviewing those applications towards February. So definitely go in and start your application, get it started, kind of get some of those things. If you're applying for fall, maybe you want to maybe wait over Christmas break to get that done. I know it's a busy time period. If you're applying for spring, certainly you could wait till Christmas break as well, but I definitely encourage you to get that in a little bit sooner as the spring 24 semester will start in mid-January. So definitely get that in as soon as you can. If you have a weekend of free time, it's definitely a good time to get that in. Our fee waiver promo code, it's GFW. It just stands for graduate fee waiver. Again, I will send that to all of you after this. And then finally, just the Office of Graduate Admissions contact information. So you'll see the phone number there. You will also see my name, Gregory Davis. I'm the Director of Graduate Admissions. You may have received some emails from that general email right there, bizgrad@shu.edu. That is our general graduate admissions email. I monitor that as well as my staff here. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please always do feel free to reach out with any sort of questions, comments. I also have one-on-one meetings. So I've had one-on-one meetings, I think, with some of the students here, also with other students. You can honestly just set up either a virtual Teams meeting with me. I've had phone meetings. I've had some students that wanted to come meet me in person. That's completely fine. I always am welcome to visitors. So definitely feel free to reach out at any time. Right. And with that, I'll end the slideshow and see if there are any questions. Not sure if there's any questions in the chat that came through. Yes, Joseph.
I know you said in the beginning this was going to be recorded, or is that going to get emailed to us, or is there going to be like an access code or something like that?
Yeah, it's going to get emailed to you. I would say definitely by next week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. But if you have any questions before, yeah, go ahead, Joyce.
No, I was just gonna say, but anybody who's on this, wouldn't they get this recording
that's true.
automatically?
That's
You could
true.
go
Sorry,
right
yes.
into you could go right into
Oh,
the
yes.
yeah, the Teams chat, and you'll be able to link right to that. So you don't even have to wait. You can watch it tonight again if you
Oh,
wanted.
all right. That's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joyce. I was thinking of
You bet.
people who weren't able to attend this meeting. A large mailing is going to go out, and that's likely going to be delivered by next week. But yes, for anybody on this call, I think it will take a few minutes for this recording to wrap up, and then you can access that right on Teams. Thank you. All right. Any questions?
other
Any
questions?
questions about anybody's? Maybe you're considering it. Anybody's? Yes, Roxana.
As far as any like scholarships that are awarded to you, would they be presented to you like once you get your like application, like acceptance, or at what point would they be like awarded?
Yeah, so similar to the graduate assistantship, in that being that you have to be a full graduate student, so you wouldn't be awarded a scholarship necessarily like in your first semester if you're still taking undergrad classes, again, just because the graduate courses that you're taking can be applied to those undergraduate scholarships or financial aid that you're receiving. So for any of the dual degree students, scholarships for our graduate programs, you could receive that once you're a full graduate student. So once you finish undergraduate, I would say, we're going to take a look through all of our students and kind of see, but you can always kind of reach out to me and ask any questions about scholarships. Am I eligible? What can I do to receive a scholarship? Like I said, we do have scholarships available, looking to give those out. So once you're a full graduate student, that's when that would be applied.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And I have another question too. In terms of the graduate assistantship, what I guess like what kind of job or like work is it that you would do? Kind of more details on that.
Yeah,
I know you said it's
absolutely.
like 15 to 20 hours or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, so within the Stillman School of Business, and I can only really speak to the Stillman School of Business, but like I said, there are graduate assistantships in other departments here at the university. So, but within the Stillman School of Business, I would say we have across the board probably around 15 graduate assistants that support the Stillman School of Business. Now, the way that we kind of differentiate those graduate assistants is we have those that we call research assistants. Now, you would apply using the same, there's one application that you'd apply for. So when you apply, you're not necessarily choosing, oh, I want to be in this department or I want to be a research assistant versus a general graduate assistant, right? So you would apply and then we'd obviously see kind of based on your skills where you'd be the best fit and also where we have openings because graduate assistants are filled once the graduate student in that position graduates. But I would say we have research assistants, and the research assistants are really kind of supporting our faculty here. So we have each department here has a research assistant. So accounting, finance, management, or computing and decision sciences, all those departments have a research assistant. And essentially they're kind of helping the faculty member out or the department chair or any other faculty in that department with research-related projects, things that they may use, in their teachings, different things that they want to help out in terms of their findings, different things like that. Now, the graduate assistant, I would say, supports our administrative offices. So the graduate assistant, we have graduate assistants in our Stillman Information Office, SIL, which if you're a Stillman undergrad, you probably know fairly well, helping students out with registration, advising, and they support the deans as well in terms of anything that they may need. And then also graduate assistants in this Office of Graduate Admissions supporting myself. So recruitment efforts, outreach, and helping me out with enrollment for all of our graduate programs. So I would say those are kind of the types of jobs that we offer here at the Stillman School of Business for graduate assistantships.
Hey, Greg, let me just add
Yeah.
that a number of our sport management MBA students have gotten assistantships with athletics. We also have graduate assistants who have worked or are working with the Career Center or University Advancement in PR and marketing, for example. So there are a number of skills that business students bring to the table that are valued across all the offices on campus. I think it puts you in a great position to get an assistantship. And one thing you mentioned, Greg, that I think is important is that we have students who are graduating every semester. So the end of every fall, end of every spring, end of every summer, we're looking to replace graduate assistants. And that's true at the Stillman School, that's true all the way across campus. So keep your eyes open for those opportunities. Don't despair if you don't get one immediately, because if you apply and we know that you're looking, we should be able to place you, if not the first semester, certainly the second semester. And Greg, I know you talked about the scholarships. We are working now to emphasize with our donors the importance of having funding for graduate students. So we've gotten more and more opportunities for graduate student support over the years. And I'll say one more plug for accounting. If you have a major in any of our grad business programs that's accounting, just because we've got a lot of successful accounting alums, we've got accounting scholarships that we can't even give away because we don't have enough students. So one more plug for that one. You just have to, as Greg said, submit a FAFSA and demonstrate financial need.
Thank you, Joyce. And yeah, great question,
Sure.
Roxana. So anybody
Thank
here
you.
on this call who has your eyes on a graduate assistantship, maybe when you finish undergrad, definitely stay in touch. I think we have a hand up. Let's see that's Tracy.
Hi, thank you. You mentioned about transcripts, that they're not necessary if you're a student at Seton Hall. Does that apply to transfer students as well? That
Yeah,
transfer to Seton Hall?
Yeah, because once you went through the transfer process as an undergraduate student, then we're gonna have your original transcript here as well. So we all work in the same CRM, which is the system that we use in terms of keeping track of students' transcripts, their application process. So if a student went to a different college and then transferred into Seton Hall and then now is interested in the dual degree program, same concept applies. There is no need for you to reach out to that previous school to request your official transcript. We will have that all here on file.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. All great questions. I appreciate all the questions. More questions. Okay, and if there are no further questions, I don't want to keep anybody here longer than you'll have to be. So just wanted to say thank you so much again for attending. Again, if anything comes up in the meantime, again, you had my my email address for that's the general email address for. Sorry, I'm typing, but I typed that in the inbox in the chat box. So bizgrad@shu.edu. Any questions as they come up, please feel free. I'm checking that inbox. I wouldn't say 24/7, but just close to it. So feel free to always email us if you have any questions whatsoever. If you want to possibly, there are a lot of 5-year and dual degree students here. So I know that we had a chemistry major. One of my graduate assistants was, I believe, a biology major. Could have been a chemistry major. It was in the sciences, and she's a MBA student in business analytics right now, and she's actually a graduate assistant for me. So if you want to possibly speak to her or speak to any of our graduate students here that are 5-year students, like I said, we do have many graduate assistants that are 5-year students, so you can always feel free to reach out if you want to just get some input, see kind of what their experience was so far. And also my other graduate assistant is a 5-year Stillman student as well. I believe he was in an undergrad marketing student. So you can always feel free. There's definitely going to be somebody in your position that you can reach out to.
And of course, Greg is a primary contact for admissions, but I know that Wesley and I would be happy to talk to you about any questions that you have, as would Mark Schild, who does advise our MBA students. He'd be happy to work out with you what schedule would work for you in terms of adding courses right away. So we're all here. Feel free to contact us. If you even want to, I don't think it's as necessary. You are Stillman student. Well, excuse me, you are Seton Hall students, so you know a lot about what we're like, what the campus is like. But if anybody wanted to sit in on a graduate class, that's very doable as well.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joyce. So definitely, again, feel free to reach out with any sort of questions, comments, anything like that you will need. So with that, I think we're good to wrap up. So just want to thank you all again for providing your time tonight. Went a little bit longer than I expected, but that's just because we had some great questions. So I appreciate everyone's willingness to interact tonight. So thank you so much, everyone, and feel free, you're gonna access this recording in the chat box. All right, so thank you again, everyone, and as we end always all of our webinars, go Pirates.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
everyone.
this time I'll add, good luck with the rest of the semester and final exams, everybody.
Good luck, everyone. Take care.